What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. We'll go straight into it. Uh, I was watching my favorite podcast the last night, Ghetto Boys Reloaded, and they instantly went into the conversation concerning um, the Grammy Awards um, celebration of 50 years of hip hop. And if anybody doesn't know the story, I'll just give a little quick little speak on it. Um, Scarface was included in the ceremony, um, and he performed "Mind Playing Tricks," which is the Ghetto Boys' signature mainstream song. Now, for us Ghetto Boy fans, well, speaking for myself, um, I would I have Ghetto Boy songs that are more of my favorites than Mind Playing Tricks. But when you're talking about commercial success, you're talking about selling records platinum that just catapulted them through the roof and put them in the rooms of respectability worldwide and among the hip hop community, artists, fans in general. That was the song. So Face performed on the Grammys, rightfully so, and but Willie D was not included in that ceremony. And I said this on my podcast. Um, I don't think that Will was necessarily upset for not being included in the overall thing, even though he might have been, because he's been doing this thing 40 years. But what probably put it over the top, and this is just me, I can't speak for another man, I can just guess, but what probably put it over the top was the fact that a song that I was a part of, that I helped build, that I helped make great, was used and I wasn't included in it. So, understandably, that would upset anybody. It would upset me. It would definitely upset me. I'm sure it would upset you or anybody else. But what I want to get to, because they talked about it on the podcast, and Face had his views on what happened. Will had his views on what happened. But the beautiful thing that I got out of it, it's just me, man. Y'all can feel how y'all want to feel about it. I love the way that they discussed it, bro. It was really refreshing to see just two men hashing it out, even in disagreement about certain components and certain elements of it. Even in disagreement, we sat here and we talked about it, squared it off, did not hold back in the expression of how I felt, how you felt. They hashed it out, and they did it on the podcast. So it was something that the audience could see, and in my opinion, receive an example of how we should hash out our differences. In a day and age where internet beef is so prevalent, man, in a day and age where artists are dying because of something that they say, something that they post, trying to present themselves as being um, something they're not in terms of a gangster status. I wanna talk hard so my audience can buy into this image, but that's really not me. Or even if it is me, I'm jumping the gun and going straight to violence or going straight. You saw two grown men squared off verbally, even though they were both upset. And I know Will was way more upset. And then they move on from it and get back to the business. That is an example. To me, that was a master class in in certain aspects of conflict resolution and just how to just deal with a problem from one man to another. That was a master class, in my opinion, bro. The conversation about it does not change the result. We know that. But it gives insight, possibly for next time. But it also gives the viewing audience, particularly the younger audience, which was what was on my mind when I was watching. Like, man, if young people watch this, bro, this should be shown as, again, as a freaking tutorial of how grown men are supposed to talk it out and not let it escalate. Now, keep in mind now, who knows what would have happened 25 years ago if the same situation would have came under the conversation. But you got two mature grown men who fathers, I'm sure grandfathers, and so it's a different scenario. But that don't curtail the anger. You don't curtail the emotion. And I just really, really appreciate the way that they handle it, regardless of what side you take on it. You know, regardless of who you look at, whose side you look at and say, well, I think he was right, I think he was wrong. That ain't where I'm at on it. I'm at how to handle it, how to discuss it, how to move forward and get it off your chest. Because one thing about speaking your mind, I learned a long time ago that it destroys, we'll put it like this, it diffuses resentment to a degree. You may always feel the way you feel about what was done to you, but some people have this thing where they withdraw and they don't want what they view to be a confrontation. It's not necessarily a confrontation. It's like, man, let me tell you how I felt about what you did, and then you tell me back, and I get that off my chest. And if we speak in a respectful manner towards each other, even though we getting it off, then I can still look at you with respect. I can still look at you as a man, you know, just depending, you know, this is just my view on it. And we can move forward without me just holding it in and I still got to work with this guy. And, you know, that ain't how you do it. So I just wanted to put that out there, man, and just, you know, really just applaud both my brothers for just deciding that they gonna not just talk about it, but talk about it on the podcast. You know, that was big to me. But I feel like anybody who has issues should watch how they discuss that. And this is some high profile stuff, bro. This is some high profile stuff. This ain't just no run. I mean, we talking about legends in the game, and anybody will feel slighted when they know what type of contributions that they have made to this game. So I was looking at Willie D like, yeah, I feel you, bro. You know. And I love Face, man. I love Willie D. I love the whole Ghetto Boys, the whole brand, the whole history, because I grew up in that history. I saw it from its inception. I saw it when Face and Will became Ghetto Boys. I saw all that. And I watched what they turned it into. So it was beautiful to me. Y'all can call me weird or whatever, but y'all leave y'all comments below, man. If you haven't seen it, go to the Ghetto Boys podcast. I'm sure y'all have seen it, but go check it out. And don't get caught in the what side you may be on, who you agree with or disagree with. You can if you want to. I'm speaking on how the conversation was met head on, and the details were dealt with. I appreciate that. All right, man, it's your big brother K-Rino. I'll catch y'all a little bit later on, man. Y'all like, subscribe, and leave a comment on the channel, man. And I'll catch y'all later on. Peace.